When you're 10-1, you got to bring out the big hats.
I I have no words.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 47 of Just Lying Around, Detroit Lions podcast presented by the World of Football. I'm your host, Kyle Sutherland. I'm joined by my co-host and brother-in-law, Adam Snow. Adam, unlike you, I had to stay until 2 o'clock today to work there. You got out a little early, but I did catch up with the game when I got home. So, yeah, great win by the Lions versus the Colts today.
Hey, yeah, look, I want to start off by saying give the Colts a little bit of credit. I know we're going to go through this whole thing. I want to give them a little bit of credit because that first drive, they looked awesome. The Colts did, at least. I was just like, good Lord, if this is how the Colts operated all the time, they'd be one of the top teams in the AFC. But a lot of mistakes. We're going to talk about that, I'm sure, when we get to their quarterback in a little bit. But a lot of mistakes on this day for them. And Detroit capitalized a banged up Detroit team today.
Yeah, the flags were flying for the Colts today. So, yeah.
That too.
But on today's show, we're going to go over the Lions Week 12 win against the Indianapolis Colts and look ahead at Week 13 against the Chicago Bears Thanksgiving game. Please, Lord, let us win this game. So, yeah, the Lions 24, Colts 6. Lions first quarter shutout. Colts basically same thing like last week versus the Jaguars. Scored 2 field goals, and that was it for the Colts. But the Lions got those drives going the second quarter there, third quarter as well. And then it seemed like after that third touchdown there, it was just pretty quiet for the Lions offensively there.
Yeah. I mean, the story is the defense, right? I mean, 3 straight games now that they have not allowed a second half score. So they pitched shutouts in the second half. So kudos to Aaron Glenn, who, by the way, if you've seen that picture of him just chilling on the bench by himself, that dude knows. That dude knows he's doing a good job. So, hey, tip of the cap to Aaron Glenn. A few little issues, mainly by the name of Vildor. But other than that, I feel like the defense played pretty rock solid.
Yeah, I think they were hoping that Terry and Arnold could go today, but I think that was like a last minute sit out for him
I think it
just
was a
to make sure
precautionary
he's
save
all
him
right.
for Thursday is what I kind of took that as.
Yeah, but yeah, let's talk some stats here real quick. Jared Goff, 26 to 36 for 269 yards. David Montgomery, 8 carries for 37 yards, 4.6 average, 1 touchdown, 3 receptions, and 36 yards. He did get hurt this game. We'll talk more about that. He ended up back on the sidelines, ready to go. Jahmyr Gibbs, 21 carries for 90 yards, 4.3 average, 2 touchdowns, 3 receptions for 9 yards, and amon-ra St. Brown, 6 receptions, 62 yards. Jamison Williams, 5 receptions, 64 yards, 1 carry, and 4 yards, and a great celebration there with David Montgomery slinging dice on their Colts end zone there.
All their end zone celebrations today were great. All of them. They were awesome.
Yeah, I think Montgomery got asked about it. He says, we're probably going to get fined, but hey, that's a fine I'm willing to pay.
It must be nice to have that kind of money to do a
Yeah.
silly dance and get fined.
Colts side, Anthony Richardson, 11 of 28, 172 yards, and 10 carries for 61 yards, 6.1 average. Jonathan Taylor, 11 carries for 35 yards, 3.2 average per carry. Michael Pittman Jr., 6 receptions for 96 yards. Total yards, Lions, 390. Colts, 268. Time of possession, Lions, 37 minutes and 1 second. Colts, 22 minutes and 59 seconds. So, yeah, let's jump into the offensive side. Second quarter, finally, they started running their game plan. Both David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, both touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs with another touchdown in the third quarter. So it was all a running back show this week for the Lions. And yeah, on my preview, I was saying once these running backs get to that second level, they're going to be good. But Colts front four, man, they know how to stop the run and put a lot of pressure on Goff there.
They got some guys on that defense. I couldn't name you all of them. Who was it? That cornerback number 40. They had that linebacker who I felt like played pretty good. I feel bad I don't remember any of their names. I don't watch them week to week, so I can't remember all their names. But they had a decent, like you said, they're front seven. They had a few guys in there, and then they had that corner number 40 was just a dog out there. So they came to play. That defense is no slouch, but your problems comes on your offensive side of the ball, unfortunately for the Colts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're talking about Nick Cross, the cornerback, and then
Yep.
front line there.
Right.
They got DeForest Buckner, Latu.
Oh yeah, Latu, the first round pick.
Yeah.
He had a sack, I think, right? He just blew off that edge, man. That's why he was the best defensive player, or the first defensive player taken in the first round this year. And the fact the Colts got him halfway through that first round is incredible.
Yeah, so their front four is pretty stout, but other than that, they got that, like you said, linebacker and a couple of their cornerbacks. But other than that, seems like the Lions kind of had their way today.
Yeah, for the most part.
Speaking of offense, Taylor Decker got rolled up on. He had to sit out a couple plays. They moved.
They moved Glasgow to the outside for a play. Then they had one of the backups come in as guard. But then, like the next play, they moved him back. Then they put Skipper out at tackle for however long until Decker came back. So,
luckily Decker's back in here. Finished the game up, so that's good news. First and fourth quarter, pretty quiet for the offense. It felt like after that third touchdown by the Lions, they kind of, I wouldn't say kind of like run out the clock mode, but I don't know if they couldn't just get things going or what, but ended up winning this game pretty handily, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Defensive side, again, this week they played really good. He only allowed 35 yards on the ground for Jonathan Taylor. But like I said, you got to contain Richardson. Richardson did have a lot of drawn-up plays to run that ball. He ran for 61 yards, which isn't too bad for a running quarterback. I mean, I'll take that all day. He didn't end up in the end zone, so
that's the key.
Good on the defense there.
And a lot of it seemed like it was that first drive. That's where a lot of it, I think, he got at least 30 yards on that opening drive. I mean, when they played the scripted ball, it seemed like, because that first drive kind of seemed pretty scripted. Richardson seemed like he had kind of gotten warmed up. He was making his throws. He was making the reads. They ran a very good offense till they got down into the red zone and kind of just couldn't get into the Lions' red zone defense, stepping up again and holding them to a field goal, which the way that drive was going, I'm like, they're going to end up with 7. Like, great. But holding them to a field goal was crucial. But Richardson he made some awesome passes. But then he would make some terrible passes. It was just hard to tell if it was his receiver not running the right route. Was he wrong? Then there was one play, I don't know if you caught this. There's one play where he's looking at his wristband while a guy's in motion. The play clock is running down. It's like 4, 3, 2. He's still looking at his wristband. I'm like, what's this guy doing? Like, if I was a Colts fan, I'd have been pulling my hair out. But I don't know. I mean, the Colts would have been in this game and a couple of them are on his receivers. That tight end caught a touchdown or should have had a touchdown, and it just hit him in the hands and just incomplete. I felt like a couple of drops really changed this game, and the penalties for the Colts didn't help. Say what you will about a lot of the holding calls, But man, Detroit did get away, I think, with maybe a couple holds, but like they definitely uh, benefited from the referees kind of sticking it to the Colts.
Yeah, they had a couple big plays, but penalties drew them back.
Yeah,
Uh, I, I think Aleem McNeil and DJ Reader and all them up front causing a lot of problems to one of their rookies linemen. So he did a lot of holding penalties on them, and they kept cutting over to Richardson, and you could tell he's getting really upset because they had to
yeah, he
keep
was
redoing the
flustered.
plays there.
Hey, he was very flustered.
Yeah. So they were defense 3 of 12 on third down efficiency for the Colts and no touchdowns allowed. The defense caused 6 punts and 0 sacks, but a lot of pressures on Richardson. I don't think they have the numbers out yet for the pressures on Richardson yet, but I'm curious to see what that number will be because like I said, Lee McNeil, Zadarius Smith, it seemed like they were always in the backfield, like right
Yeah,
around Richardson, but Richardson being so strong, able to throw that ball away before he could take a sack there.
yeah. He had some impressive plays like that where he was just able to get the ball out when you're just like, how? But he's so big and strong. They on the broadcast they kind of compared him to Cam Newton in size, and I could see that. That's a very good comp in terms of his size and maybe some of his athleticism. I just don't know if he's got that accuracy. Well, he's got a little bit of the accuracy because he throws the deep ball pretty good. So he might be a better thrower than Cam Newton. But on some of his runs, man, he did like he took a hit from Brian Branch, which he stayed on his feet. I feel like Branch just had a couple of hits that should have been levelers, and they did nothing. So this Colts team is tough, but I mean Richardson just played. Man, it's just for every good play he had, there was a bad play. It's just that same. I know he's second year. He had a real good week last week, so I don't know if it's just because that defensive line just kept getting in his face all day and flustering him. That maybe that had something to do with him just maybe being a little on edge, releasing the ball maybe a little too quickly, and maybe that's why some of his passes to those receivers didn't get caught. Could be a lot of things, but and what was his final stat line again? He was 11 of 28, so that's less than 50% of your passes getting completed. He only completed 11 passes. Like that's crazy to me. And but if you think about it, he had like that 30-yarder. He have a 40-yarder at one point. So his only good throws were the deep ones, and that was because he was throwing on Vildor, who I'm sure you want to talk about next.
Yeah, you can definitely tell a difference between Terrion Arnold out there and Kendall Vildor. Like, I know last week he went out there in place of Carlton Davis on the second half, and looked like Vildor was all right last week, but man, this week they were just picking on him left and right. Um,
Yeah.
I think it was Michael Pittman most that benefited from Kendall Vildor covering him, but man, I hope Emmanuel Mosley catches up to speed real quick because I'd like to see Emmanuel Mosley out there over Vildor, but I don't know if Vildor was just having a bad day or what. But he
I
did
mean,
not look
maybe
good out there.
no, he did not. Maybe it was just the fact that he had so many plays. He plays decent in like situational stuff, like a couple plays here and there. You know, a
Yeah.
fill in spot. But to take Tyrion's spot, Tyrion, and play essentially the whole game is a tough ask. And against a bunch of talented Colts receivers, Pittman, and then who was number one, the guy who got hurt,
Josh Downs.
Josh Downs, who's also been awesome for him. So two great receivers. And Downs, what a tough dude that was. Messed up his shoulder, came back and messed his shoulder up again. But that dude was I was impressed by that guy, and he was returning kicks. So I don't know. So that's a tough task to give Vildor, I think, and clearly he shows that he's not ready to be a full time fill in starter. He's a decent rotational, like a couple times a series, throw him out there to let Robertson or somebody take a breather.
Yeah, we'll see. Thursday game next or this week coming up. So, speaking of Thursday game, Carlton Davis went out for a knee injury. Ended up having Cleo Dorsey take his spot. He did do a couple interviews in the locker room after the game. He said he's all right, but he's just got to wait for like X-rays and stuff, either tomorrow or Tuesday to see what kind of severity it is. But I don't know if Terrion Arnold can go Thursday. I think they might just sit Carlton Davis and have
Yeah.
either Manuel Mosley out there and nickel, and maybe slide Amik Robertson out to the wide out there. But we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Yep.
And let's jump into notes from the game. I don't know if the NFL just likes targeting Brian Branch now because they people out there saying he's a dirty player. But I don't know about you, but that play he got called for a personal foul for using the helmet. But yeah, that replay showed that that play there. And it looked like he was going to lead with the helmet, but ended up using his shoulder instead. And the guy was still in bound or in
Yeah.
field of play. So I don't know.
I mean, they
I don't
didn't
know if
flag him for a late hit. I mean, what stinks is I think it was led with the helmet, unfortunately, but it's only led with the helmet because of this. Have you ever tried to not lead with the helmet if you're throwing a shoulder into a guy running full speed? Like it's kind of a motion that kind of goes with it. And I was like, that's just a natural with the helmet on and everything and the pads. Good luck. Like that's like trying to tackle with your head up. Like it looks ridiculous. Like I don't know. I think that was a bad call, but I understand why they made that call. I don't agree with it, but I get it.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got to start wrapping around him or what, but it seems like every time he's getting called for these, he's like a heat-seeking missile. Just um, those kind of hits he does. So I don't
Why
know
not
if
try
they'll
to
talk.
go with your arm out, like just full on, like not a clothesline almost, but like at least show like shoulder and forearm, like get in there and like make that hit.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. Like I could see if he does that too, popping his shoulder out of place, trying to tackle like that. So
That's fair, yeah.
yeah.
But
Oh,
but better than leading with the helmet and getting a possible concussion or concussing the other guy. I mean, that's just
yeah. Um, let's see. Yeah, quiet game overall after that third touchdown. Defense stepped up. I think it is now 10 quarters in a row that the
yep,
defensive side for the Lions have not allowed an opponent to score a touchdown. So they're on a
yep.
roll.
They've been playing great. I mean, granted, at the same time, it's these other team mistakes. Like the Jaguars just couldn't get anything going, and then the Lions defense, picking them off when they got close to a touchdown. For the Colts, it was a couple of great drives just stalled out by the Lions' red zone defense, and then just the Colts making shooting themselves in the foot. Let's not mince words. That's what happened. They shot themselves in the foot, and the Lions' defense, while banged up, is you got to make those against this defense if you want to be in a game, because this defense will take care of you. And good luck running the ball. And then the Lions also knew that all they had to do was stop Richardson from running and defend the pass. They were not getting anywhere on the ground game. As good as Jonathan Taylor is, like 30-something yards for that back is embarrassing if you're the Colts.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
flat out embarrassing. Like, I wasn't sure how many yards he had during the game, but I was watching. I was like, I don't think he's busted anything for more than 5 yards, if that, for this running back who's really great. And I don't even know if he caught any screens or anything like
No.
that. Like, they just totally misusing a really good back in Jonathan Taylor. So,
Yeah, I wonder the way they used them. They had a rookie guard there. One of their starting tackles was out as well. So yeah, yeah. We already talked about it. And Lee McNeil had a game. He's
oh yeah, he
looking
did.
like every
Oh,
bit of what they paid him for. Like he's once they start getting more comfortable with Zadarius Smith on that line, I think it's just going to open up more for Lee McNeil there.
I think so too. Ever since he got paid, like I was surprised. I think I talked about it. Surprised when he got the contract. To be honest with you, he's kind of been that sleeper player, like Ndamukong Suh we've talked about, who just will bull rush up the middle and cause some havoc, and that's what he did. He bowled over a guy. He lost his helmet because a guy couldn't stop him. It's just like, I got to do something to stop him from getting to Richardson. Like, that offensive line it seemed like they weren't prepared for him. And then on top of it, you got a Zadarius Smith who, he gave a couple of good licks to old Richardson. And I know Richardson wanted a flag on one of those hits, but I thought Zadarius did a really good job at when he got him. You could just see immediately how his arms opened up so that he wasn't landing on him or hitting him in a really bad way. He made the play, ball was gone, and he landed on him the way you kind of want them to avoid a penalty. And I can't wait. The more Zadarius gets with this line, the more reps and the way they scheme it, it's gonna be scary. And you got Aleem McNeil who's been playing ball, who I think up until that contract, I was about to say, he has balled out since he got the contract. I think we've heard his name more since getting that deal than before. Like I said before, he was like that quiet presence that would get the pressure, and then Hutchinson was getting all the notoriety. But now, without the Hutchinson there, Aleem McNeil's getting a lot of the attention, and rightfully so. He's been awesome.
Yeah, and big shout out to the linebacker crew as well.
Oh
Malcolm
yeah,
Rodriguez, I feel like the way he's come back and played, I think he's got 2 more years on his contract. I would have no problem extending him because the way he's playing right now is just, he's always been great, reliable. Also, Jack Campbell today, too. He almost had an
Jack Campbell.
interception, but it looked like Brian Branch was upset because he was right there, right behind him, ready to make that interception as well. And it kind of flew off of Jack Campbell's hands there.
Yeah, but and then on that particular play, that's the same play we were talking in our fantasy football group chat where it looked like that wide receiver almost took Branch's head with him. Almost could have. I almost wondered that could have been a pass interference because Branch was right there to make the play, and then it got tipped. He got his helmet grabbed, and then Campbell couldn't make the play either. So, that was a wild little play there. But I think wasn't that a fourth down? So or third down, so it didn't matter. Anyway,
I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at that.
it could have. It was either a third or fourth down. I don't remember. So it's okay.
Yeah. So, Decker, Davis, and Monty had interviews after the game. It sounds like Decker and Montgomery are good to go next week. Montgomery was asked, could you have gone in? And he said he was, but got a quote here by Montgomery asking Dan Campbell, and Dan Campbell pulled him aside and told him there's bigger fish to fry. So I think he was talking about the Bears game coming up, which Montgomery came from the Bears. So
Right.
That'll be a good matchup for Montgomery there.
Yeah, I figured that's why he didn't go back in. We saw him dressed, which was a good sign. He's ready to go back in, but I think Gibbs was handling the load today. He looked great. He was doing everything Montgomery would do going up the middle, and that's what I love about these two backs is they both do the same stuff, just in slightly different ways. There were so many times that Gibbs would run up the middle, and he looked like Barry Sanders on a couple plays. I know that's as a Lions fan, you hate to compare anybody to Barry Sanders because there's nobody like Barry Sanders. But there was one play in particular where Gibbs was running, he bounced off the left, cut back into the right, and just the way you could see, he looked like Barry. It was so eerily like Barry, and I know you could compare it to last week's touchdown where he spun and got to the outside, exactly like a Barry play. But Gibbs, dare I say it, Kyle, dare I say it, Jahmyr Gibbs might be the closest thing to Barry Sanders the Detroit Lions will ever have. Again, I'm just...
Yeah, let's see. That's why I got his jersey on because I knew all along.
Oh, okay.
But that
you say so.
touchdown where he stared at the opponent. Didn't you say that
drafting it was a terrible idea? Was that you? Who drafts a running back at 12?
Oh, not me. All the analysts out there thought, what are the Lions doing?
Not a guy wearing a big stupid hat. Okay, I'll let that one slide.
But yeah, he had a great run in for a touchdown staring at the opponent there trying to tackle him.
Okay, that flag. That was one of the worst flags ever. All he did was look at him. He didn't make a hand gesture. He didn't do anything other than just stare at him. Unless he said something, which he might have been jawing there at the end, because that's when I saw the official throwing the flag. So I wonder if he was John, but at the same time, I think Jim Costa tweeted something. I retweeted it. It was something along the lines of like, if you can't stop him, like that's on you. Like Gibbs should be able to just stare him down and just be like, "Yo, like you gonna stop me or what?" Because they couldn't.
Yeah, he's got a little attitude coming
I
on him.
love it.
I love it.
I love it so much. Yeah, it's great.
So yeah, Cleve Raymond also was hurt.
Man.
Got carted off, brought back out, carted off, brought back out, carted off.
Well, I think they brought the cart back with him because they're like, "Uh-oh, Decker might need that cart too. Let's come back here. Hold on a second." But Decker just went with the tent.
Yeah, Dan Campbell said he's probably going to be out for a while, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Who replaces him on the kick returns? Because it better not be Amon-Ra ever again.
Yeah, they need to put someone else out there.
Because the moment he was back there, I was like, "Oh God, please no." But then the first one, he had the fair catch. I was like, "Good. If he just has to fair catch the rest of the game, I'm fine with that." But then he took one play and he just ran straight out of bounds. I was like, "Okay, that's about as much as I want him to do." Then the third punt return he had to return, he about took a lick. And I know he's tough, and he got up and he like made eye contact with that guy. Like, that's right, I'm still standing. But I'm like, I don't want to risk that, man. That's your star receiver out there returning kick. We don't have a fourth guy, like to go back there and return kicks.
I think I'd like to see Baki out there returning kicks.
Or wasn't Dorsey? Shouldn't Dorsey be the other one?
He's on kickoff returns.
Well, they better answer that quick because it better not be Amon-Ra ever again. Have a backup plan, then have a backup plan to that backup plan. Because Amon-Ra should never be the backup plan.
Yeah.
Maybe the backup's backup plan, but that's it.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to talk about for this game, or you want to move on?
I'm trying to think. Lions fans again showing up. All the Jared Goff chants, all the Let's Go Lions chants was awesome. Pat McAfee was at the game with his crew, I guess. So I'm looking forward to hearing their stories from that because apparently he's not getting along with the Colts. So that's funny. And the Colts uniforms are terrible. Those are some ugly uniforms, Indy. What are you doing? They're terrible.
They're all right.
No, I hate the black helmet. I hate it. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Almost as bad as our just completely monochrome uniforms. But if we keep winning in them, we can keep wearing the marshmallows. It's fine.
All right, let's jump into Week 13 preview here. Lions versus Bears. Lions fumbled the ball again this week. 3 in a row, close games, and lose. The Bears are the Bears.
Lions? You mean the Bears? I was like, the Lions?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I said the Bears.
You said the Lions.
Oh, well, I meant the Bears.
You and your big dumb hat. You
but
give me a heart
it is
attack.
home November 28th at 12:30 on CBS. Last time Lions won on Thanksgiving was 2016, so this is a really good chance for the Lions to snap that streak there, and I hope they do.
I hope so. They've been on we've been calling this year the revenge tour. So I think they knocked that Thanksgiving jinx off their back. The Bears, I don't know, did you watch any of that game? The end of the Bears Vikings game?
Yeah, the way they came back and then just screwed it up.
That was very same old Lions. Very same old Lions-y of the Bears to do that. Like the onside kick, the first onside kick this year that has been recovered by the kicking team. So kudos to the Bears. They made it entertaining. I was pulling for the Bears to win this game just to get their hopes ever so high, just for the Lions to take belt to ass and take care of them. But I don't trust Caleb Williams. I don't. He's got a few good passes, but I don't trust him. He looked like Richardson out there. I feel like I was just watching Richardson in that game. And the Bears game comes on after, and I'm watching the Bears play, and I'm like, I feel like I'm looking at the same quarterback who's got a little bit of talent and can make a couple of plays, but I wouldn't trust. Like, I just would not trust him. And I don't know. I'm not impressed, and we'll see what happens. The Lions, I don't know. If they get a couple of healthy guys back, I am nervous about the cornerback situation a little bit, but I don't know. The Bears are a mess.
Yeah, especially that. Yeah, like you said, cornerback depth. If Carlton Davis is out, and if they hold Terrion Arnold out again, that Bears have got some quality wide receivers there, and that's going to be a big test for the Lions' second and third stringer cornerback. So
Because
that's the only thing I'm worried about too. But on that defensive side, for the Bears, they are ranked pretty high, and um, they got some deadly weapons on that defensive side of the ball as well. So this is going to be another good test for Goff and the crew there, running backs, offensive line. I don't know if they seem to me like their offensive line is kind of struggling here and there. So I don't know if it's just people are starting to get injured more and kind of playing
they've been pretty
through
banged up.
banged up or what.
Yeah.
But
I expect McNeil and I expect Zadarius Smith to have a game. I feel like they're going to get pressure on Caleb Williams. He's going to scramble probably quite a bit. He'll probably find a receiver here and there, but I, man, I don't know if he will make as many mistakes as Richardson did, like just some weird air balls and like passes that just weren't where they're supposed to go. He might be a little better at that, so we'll just have to be careful. But I don't know. I feel like it'll be like facing Richardson again. Except I think Richardson might be a little stronger. Richardson might
oh
be a
yeah,
tougher tackle. So
yeah. We should be able to shut down the run game. Caleb Williams is not as strong as Richardson. So Caleb Williams, I don't know what he's doing out there, but sometimes he just holds on to that ball, doesn't
too
go
long.
away.
Oh,
So Lions should have some sacks for this game
and then
coming up here.
and then the other factor will be the Bears coaching and situational football again. That's something to
Oh,
keep an eye on. Eberflus just
he's
he'll
an
probably
idiot.
Eberflus this game away. I'm not kidding. Like the last time they came to Detroit and he Eberflus that game away, I don't trust him. The Bears got talent on that team, and I'm not afraid to say that. I will tell a Bears fan, you guys got talent, but your coaching is terrible. Play
Yeah.
calling has been terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to your show talking about that. You're gonna have a busy week this week, Kyle.
Yeah. I can't. I wonder what their practice schedule is going to be this week because they got a really short week here.
I don't know. Why don't you figure that out and talk about it in your little preview?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and close it out then.
Yes, sir. All right. We hope you guys enjoyed watching and listening to today's episode and come back for more. Be sure to visit the World of Football's website, www.theworldoffootball.com, for news, links, upcoming events, original articles, videos, and more. If you want to get in touch with us, send us an email to info@theworldoffootball.com, or you can connect with us by either liking the World of Football's Facebook or following the World of Football's X account. Those links will be down in the episode description. Be sure to check out our flagship podcast, This Week in the World of Football, which drops new episodes every Tuesday, wherever you find good podcasts. And you can also find it in this YouTube feed. And again, links will be down in the description below.
All right. That's it for us this week. Lions come out with a big victory. Be on the lookout
10 and
for a
1.
preview podcast for the Lions versus Bears Wednesday after the final injury report comes out. And hopefully Lions come out with another victory, make it
Make
11
it
and
make it
0
10
and
straight. 10 straight.
yep, maybe Vikings will lose a game.
God, I hope so. Thanks for nothing, Bears.
Yeah. But until then, we'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you. Go
When do you
Lions.
want to do that? You want to do that on Friday? Because we're going to be busy on Turkey Day.
Oh yeah, Friday.
All right.
Friday.
We'll talk to you guys on Black Friday.
Yep.